Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm just going to talk. I spent the day today building grate ovens, so I should have, I don't know, I'll list them tonight or tomorrow. I still got a little bit more work to do on them. But I built 5 today, so those will be in the store either tonight or tomorrow. I'm thinking about changing this. I've ordered some aluminum for it to make the change, and I'll just show you real quickly what I'm up to. Okay, this works really good, but it just catches on the pot too much, and I don't like it. So, and it's a little difficult to build these. I had to build a special jig to bend each one of these. So I'm not gonna go with that design, but you did probably notice that it all fits in a modified Ziploc. I'm going to go back to this design, and I've ordered some aluminum, the next size up from this, and I'm going to make a ring, fairly thin, maybe 1/4 inch, thick enough for these to press into. I'm going to cut down the number of these and make it a little bit higher, and have this ring go right up and butt up against this ring on this pot, so that when you set the pot in, you're setting it right in a solid ring. I really can't get away. That's warm and fuzzy. I like that. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And I've ordered the aluminum. So there'll be a ring on the top, a fairly shallow one, and probably a fairly shallow ring on the bottom. And I will probably, although I'm not sure yet, press this bottom end to capture the alcohol if you happen to spill it. Excuse me. I'm also thinking about drilling some holes in 3 places down on the bottom at probably a 3-degree angle, and putting some legs in this way to give it even more stability, so that if you have your pot locked in on the top and then you have these legs out here, it'll be very stable. And that's been a bone of contention with me, is not being tippy, and with the legs in it, which wouldn't take up much space, probably store it in the bottom of the stove. I could even drill some holes and have them drop down into it to store. And that's where I'm going with this. So until I get the aluminum for that, this kind of on hold. It'll probably be here in 2 or 3 days. Okay, next thing. This is a butane lighter. It's not a Bic, it's a Ronson. It's like a 97-cent cigar lighter that I bought at Aubuchon Hardware. Now, I've been checking the limitations of these to see what they will do and what they won't do. I went out this morning, it was 11 degrees out. That's cold. Now, if you leave this out at 11 degrees or 0 or 20 below, whatever, once the body gets down to, I don't know, 20 degrees, I'm really not sure what it would have to get down to. It won't light because the butane won't vaporize, so that renders it useless. So you say, well, what good is that? You know, I need my axe. No, you don't need your axe. Put this in your pocket so that it's laying against your leg in your pocket, and in about 10 minutes you can take it right out and light it right up. And if you carry it in your pocket all the time so it's against your body, like I always carry it in my left front pocket. I have this with me all the time. If I've got my pants on and everything's working right, I've got this lighter in my left pocket. Always. As long as it's laying against your leg, it'll always stay warm enough so it'll always light. My next test is going to be, I'm going to put this in a bucket of water for overnight, and then see what it takes to get it back to the point where it'll light. I really don't know what it'll take. If I ruin it, I ruin it, but I want to know the absolute limitations of this, and I may do just one of those disposable Bic lighters too, because this is refillable, and just see what it takes to get one dry enough to light once it's been wet, like if you fell in the stream. So that's one of my next projects, and I'll be reporting on that. One other thing I wanted to talk about was, now this is probably just common sense, but I think a lot of people have missed it. And I'm not trying to be mean-spirited, but I feel that anybody that has a way of doing something, and I'm going to use the bushcrafters for an example. If you carry an axe and a knife and a folding shovel and a folding saw and that type of stuff, and when you go out in the wild you make your own shelter and you whittle out a bow drill and create your fire that way, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. that's fine. And if that's what you like doing, by all means do it. I think a lot of people are completely comfortable with that statement, and other people seem to, for some reason, feel that they have to justify carrying that stuff. And that's when they get in trouble, because they'll make statements like, and this is one of the dumber ones, make statements like, well, I carried a Bic lighter once and it didn't perform very well, so I'm going back to using a flint and steel. Well, I don't think I even need to address that. I mean, it speaks for itself. If you like using a flint and steel to start a fire, just say so. Just say, I really like the feel of a flint and steel. I really like using one. They're very dependable, and that's how I prefer to start a fire. Fine, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Go with it. But just be honest about it. Don't try to justify it by saying all Bic lighters are junk and they won't work in this situation. That's not important. What's important is that you're doing what you want to do with the equipment you want to use. And you don't need to try to justify it by making a bunch of statements about somebody else's gear. You know, starting a fire with a flint and steel is not my cup of tea. Fire is not my cup of tea. And I'm not going to tell you that it's dangerous or dirty or anything else. It's just not my style. A lot of people really feel... I have a friend who I've been backpacking with, and if he doesn't start a fire in the evening, it's not a backpacking trip. He has to have a fire, and that's just the way he is. And I can respect him for that. I don't need a fire to be comfortable in the wilderness. If I was going to be out for a long time, I definitely would have a fire. But for 2 or 3 nights, no. If I was going to be out for a week or a month, I'd probably, after a few days, I'd probably start a fire just for the comfort and warmth of it. It would depend a lot on the weather, too. Sometimes it's just nice to start a fire and just thaw your bones out. Sleeping bags and clothes just, you know, they don't warm your hands and give you the warmth of a fire. So that having been said, I'm trying to make peace with people that are trying to justify all this equipment stuff. There's really no need to justify it to me. Just say that's the way you want to do it, and we'll call it even. Now, I like using an alcohol stove. I'm warm and fuzzy with alcohol stoves, and I'm not that comfortable starting fires. That's me. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to try to justify it. That's just what I like to do. So I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike. Take a friend. Enjoy the great outdoors. Cook some really great meals while you're out backpacking. And more important than anything, click on them videos and have a really great day. Bye-bye.